All right, guys, that's enough of that nonsense. So we're working on our fix engine project, right? This is going to be a fun project because basically the fix engine is a trade server. So just imagine it's a server that's going to deal with processing of the trading messages. So people are placing orders to buy stock, for example, and then they're going to get executions. So basically order fulfillment. I want 100 shares IBM. You're going to send me 100 shares IBM. All this is happening via electronic messages being routed back and forth. All those messages are going to be handled by a trade server, or in this case, more specifically, a fix engine. Fix for the protocol that we use to transmit the orders. So a lot of different components we need to build. We need order entry. We need market data on the order entry side, market data on the execution side, a lot of different things. And as we're building things, we're going to need QA, quality assurance. We need testing methods. So one of the things I needed to test was with options. Your entire strategy is based on what you. I'm going to give you the fixed protocol. Options Greeks. We need to create, because this is going to simulate a trading environment, right? We need to create logic that's going to respond to. So, for example, if we're creating a simulated market, right? What's the purpose of the market? New York Stock Exchange. Their purpose is to fulfill the orders, right? So orders come in and they respond to those orders. Oh, you want IBM? Fine, I'm going to send you IBM, right? So we need to simulate that behavior. So we need something. So we need something that will generate a log, and then we need something that's going to monitor that log and respond to what's seen in that log. So, oh, new order found. Okay, someone wants to buy something. So if new order found, then send execution based on the symbol and all that good stuff, right? So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be triggered based on messages. An order comes in, this is what you do. A cancel request comes in, this is what you do. A price change request comes in, this is what you do, right? So we have action and then we have reaction, right? So I can't really build a lot of that stuff without something to generate messages. I need something to generate the messages that's going to trigger the behavior. So basically what I built was a fix writer. So let's take a look at the code. I built it in Corn. Um, like I mentioned before, I am more familiar with Corn. Ideally, I want to do everything in Python, but Python is a new language for me. I'm much more comfortable in Corn Shell or shell scripting in general. So since I'm more comfortable there, I'm gonna do because again I'm building this. This is a complex project, right? This is a I'm gonna have to figure out a lot of things. There's gonna be a lot of challenges. I don't need the additional challenge of oh, I'm new to the language, right? I want to be in a language that I feel most comfortable with, so that I can focus mostly on solving the programming problems that I need to solve to build what we're trying to build, right? Now, long term, what I'll do once I figure out the basic logic in Corn, I will convert it over to Python, right? And there may be some things that I may do in Python from the get go if it's simple enough and I'm like, hey, I could do that. That's not a big deal. Like, I know how to pull market data using Python, real time stock quotes. So maybe I'll create a Python script that all it does is pull stock quotes and puts it in a file. And then I can access that data from a Corn shell script. So I can have a Python script on a a corn chip, or corn
I'm in my
ship.
mom's car. Boom, boom.
Okay. Anyway, so let's get to it. So this is a fix writer. So a fix writer is corn shell. So we have the shebang. Starts out with the user bin ksh telling where the location of the corn shell interpreter is. I just have the name of the script here. This will generate and erase fixed messages for fixed application development testing, right? That's all it's going to do. So the first thing I did is I touched the fix log. What I'm doing is if I run this in a location where there isn't a current fix log, fix log being the log for the fix engine, right? So that's all of your order and execution information, your messages. If there is no fix log where this script is run, it's going to create one, because the touch command, if you touch a file that doesn't exist, it's going to create the file, and it'll be an empty file, right? So therefore, I'm not going to get error messages the file doesn't exist. Every time you run this, if there is a fixed log, it's going to be updated in terms of the timestamps. If there isn't one will be created, and it's going to be an empty file, right? Then I'm clearing the screen. Whatever junk is on the screen, I'm going to clear the screen. And then the user prompt. So this is sort of, you consider this your GUI. I mean, it's not really GUI, but this is your interface, rather, I guess, since it's not really graphical. But you know, what do you want? I mean, you know, this is just one step beyond pseudocode. It actually functions, but you know, we're still in development, so I have some silly stuff in here. I mean, I don't want to have it be like, what do you want? But you know, whatever. That's simple. The main thing is we want to get the logic working, right? So it doesn't really matter about this stuff. What do you want? I put a blank space here, so that's why you have the empty quotes. And then what I'm doing is I'm creating a command structure or keyboard shortcuts, right? So I is to insert an order. That's going to be the default behavior. IO is going to insert an order. IX is going to insert an execution. And D is going to delete the log. Right? Now, these are things that the user can type in. The user is going to be prompted with types. Okay, let's correct that. It should say type choice. So I'm asking the user to type their choice. I gave them a bunch of choices. Now you need to type your choice. You type in IXD or whatever I gave up above. So read is a command in Corn Shell that will read the user, whatever the user types in, right? So whatever you type in, I'm going to read that into a variable, right? The variable will be choice. So I'm reading the variable choice, right? And the variable choice is basically what you're typing in. So you type in something, I'm going to put that into the variable choice, basically, right? And then you put question mark, and then whatever is in quotes is the prompt. So this is just user prompt, right? So user will see type choice, right? And then whatever they type in will be assigned to the variable choice. Real simple. After that, I'm going to echo. This is just QA stuff, testing stuff, debug, whatever you want to call it. So after you type in something, I'm going to confirm what you typed in by basically showing you the contents of the variable choice, right? So I'm verifying that this actually worked. So that's a debug thing. The final version, I'm not going to do that necessarily. I don't see a reason to do it, but who knows. All right, so then we have the logic here. So so this is the behavior, right? Based on what the user requests. So if you type in I, this is what's going to happen, right? So we're doing tests. This is the standard, you know, setup with if statements, right? You're testing for something if it's true, right? So for this kind of test where I'm testing for the string, we use double square brackets in Corn, right? And then I'm testing, what am I testing? What's the statement that I'm testing whether it's true? I'm testing the contents of this variable are equal to I, right? So if the user typed in I, then this condition is true. And if this condition is true, then, right? That's the beauty of Python. We don't need to type a then. If you hear me keep saying it over and over again, the then is implied, the then is implied. That's what I mean. In Corn, we actually had to go and type in this then. We do our if condition, and then the next line we do a then. And then I don't even think you even need this indentation. I think I just do it for cosmetic purposes to make it, you know, for readability. But I don't think it even matters. I think this will work. We can do a test, but I think this will work if I put it, you know, flush with the margin, right? In Python, obviously, that's a critical component is the indentation, because that's how it knows where it begins and ends. But regardless, so if this condition is true, then this, right? It's going to say inserting order. Then it's going to say this. So this is an order message. This is, again, when I really see that we're going to be using Python dictionaries, because Python dictionaries are just like the FIX protocol in terms of the format. You know, it's a data structure that's set up in pairs. You have a key and you have a value. Same thing in FIX. This is your key and that's your value. right? So the key you need to interpret, and like, what does that mean? 35. 35 means message type, right? So that's the key, message type. What's the value? D. What does D mean? D means new order single. So basically a new order. So this says new order, right? And let me go through all these tags. So this is message type, 35 message type, 55 symbol, 38 quantity, right? So what message type? D, a new order. What symbol? AAPL, Apple, right? What quantity? 100 shares, right? So it's 100 shares of Apple and it's an order, right? So it's going to generate, obviously this is a fixed order. It doesn't really matter that kind of detail. The bottom line is I just need to generate an order message so that when I start building my code, that's going to react to this activity. I can test it, right? I can run the fix writer. I can say send an order. It'll send an order, and then I can test my code, which is supposed to react to new orders coming in. So I can basically simulate orders coming in, simulate execution coming in, and test my code to make sure it's working properly, right? Because everything is going to respond to orders, executions, cancel requests, cancel replace. So we want to change your order and things like that. So all this is doing is this is printing out this fixed message, which represents a new order. And then it's taking that and it's appending it, double, greater than, append versus insert with a single, right? Single is insert, double, append, right? So it's going to add to rather than overwrite. So it's going to append it to the fix log. So if I choose I, it's going to send a new order message and put it in the fix log, basically what that says. Elif, right, which is another choice. Else, it's kind of like else if. So if you type I, I'm going to do this. Otherwise, or elif, if you type del, I'm going to do this. I'm going to remove verbosely the fix log, basically deleting it, right? And then we go down here. If you type in IX, I'm going to insert an execution message. So there's an execution message. You notice the difference? Message type is 8 for execution report, not order, right? So that's an execution. And by the way, just so you guys know, these are not complete fixed messages. This is only for testing purposes. So I only need the very basic, very minimal parts of the message. I need just enough to trigger my logic, right? So my logic might be looking for 35 equals 8 or 35 equals D, so I don't need all the other tags. But an order and execution would have much more tags than this. You need timestamps, you need routing, like who's this execution for? We don't even know, right? So there's other tags that are involved, but I'm just using these 3 tags because this is just a tester, right? IO inserts an order. All right. And then once you're done, whatever choice you choose, it's going to put 2 empty lines, and then it's going to say fix log contents. Basically, what I want to show is what the result is of running this. So I'm going to show you the contents of the fix log, so whatever you're doing, you can monitor your changes. All right, so that's the basic thing that we did. Fix writer, real simple, nothing too fancy. So I'm going to copy this and let's test it. So let's go fix writer directory. Let's go vim fix writer.sh. Boom, insert and paste, and there it is. All right, so let's get out of here. Let's change mod plus 777 fix writer. So it's now executable. Clear the screen, and now we can KSH fix writer. And there it is. Here it is in action. All right, now the fun begins. Let's see if this thing actually works. Actually, let me kill this. I want to make sure you guys can see this. Sorry about that. Let's make this a little bit, and let's change this prompt. This prompt is horrible. This is the worst prompt I have ever seen in my life. Probably not, but whatever. Let's see. Let's do something different today. Let's say learning is fun. All right, there you go. And then we do a little this guy and that guy, and boom! Look at that. Learning is fun right here on this channel. All right, so now Naraz Ali is so awesome, and he is awesome. He's been working so hard and trying to learn so much so quickly. Really, really dedicated. I really admire his ambition. He's one of my top subscribers. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, listening in live right now, we have Rosso V across the globe. I really appreciate you listening in live. And shout out to Mega Noob and everybody else. I really appreciate your support. And you guys stick to it, man. Stick to it. You know, I know it's challenging sometimes for you guys, but just stay focused. You will pick this up. You will learn. You will progress. And I'm going to help you get there. So here we are. So now we can actually do the FixWriter SH and see if it works. So what do you want? I want $1 million. But since I can't have $1 million right now, I'm going to hit I for insert order. And there you go. So it actually shows you the content. So we can see that the new order has been inserted into the message. So we have been successful. Oh, yeah.
And his name is John C.
Congratulations. All right. So let's run this again. I want to show you guys that it actually works. So I'm going to insert another order. So now you see there's 2 orders in the log, right? And notice how I set this up, right? These are little things that you guys can do as well when you're building your code in terms of efficiency. So I created this tool that's basically going to write messages into a log, right? And automatically I thought, why not show the results of what this does at the end of it? So I don't have to go check. So I go and I make a change, I delete something, add something, and then I got to go and less fix log or whatever. Like, why should I have to do that, right? Why should I have to go type in, you know, if I change something, I'm going to want to confirm the change, right? So I put it right into the code. So whenever you run this, you're going to automatically see the result. So let's do delete. And actually, we see a mistake right here. It says D for delete, and we know in the logic it's DEL. So let's see what happens. We can do some real QA testing. So what happens if you type in DEL? So it actually worked. It said you chose del, removed, fixed log contents. So it says no file or directory. So there is no fixed log anymore. It's gone, right? So what that tells me is that the if-then logic or the if del exists, but the menu, the interface, doesn't mention it. So basically, the user has no way of knowing that del is an option because in the menu it says D, but D actually is not valid. So if we didn't know this and we actually run this and we go and we type in D as it says in the menu, then we see it just says you choose D and it does nothing. Fixed log contents, it's empty. Remember, every time you run it, it creates the fixed log. So there's now a fixed log that's empty, right? It was deleted, so it wasn't there before. Because I ran the script, it created a new one, and it's an empty one, right? D is not a valid option, so it did nothing. So what we should do, which makes sense, is, you know, a smarter design of this program, is if we actually put an else condition, so that if the user does something other than what they're supposed to do, these are your choices, right? If you do something other than the choices, then you're doing something wrong. I need to let you know. So what we're going to do, first of all, let's update the menu so it says del. This is the correct option. And let's add an else condition. So if you do anything else other than what I told you you're supposed to do, this is what's going to happen. Now, I've been doing Python so much lately. I'm hoping that this is the correct way to do this because it's been a while. So else I think you still do a then. I'm not sure. I haven't done this in a while. Let's just see. What is your problem? How you like that? Is that a good is that a good option?
I know words.
All right.
Who cares what they say?
Who cares what they say? It's all good. A rose will smell just as good with any other name. Under any other name. So what did we just do? So I added an else condition. I don't know if that else actually will work. So let's test it. Let's run it. So we got no errors. That's good. So let's type in my CPU squad rocks. And you guys do rock. Boom. You chose CPU squad rocks, then unexpected. So that is wrong. I did something wrong. I don't think there's a then. I think for the else, there is no then. I think I can just say, I can put this, you know, what is your problem? So let's try that. So let's say blah, blah, blah. What is your problem? Perfect. There you go. Look at that. Figured it out. All right. So we're good to go. So let's just make this make sense. Make that make sense.
They will never take you to the promised land.
Okay, so we are going to the promised land, and the promised land is this script completed. So let's say please. Okay, let's try that again. Please enter valid option. Okay, so that's good enough for now. Stuff like that you can play around with when you're, later on in terms of like the wording. Like, is that the best wording for this? You might want to do it in your design phase when you're, doing your pseudocode and planning things. Maybe you might want to lock that stuff down. I mean, it really depends on what workflow works best for you. But let's see. So blah, 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 and please enter a valid option. Yeah, I think that's good. Now, one thing I'm going to add to this in the future, and actually, homework assignment. Let's go. Homework assignment. I'm not just, showing you guys stuff. You guys can sit back and be like, oh, that's great. That's wonderful. We need for you guys to get involved. So I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment. All right? And the homework assignment is that I want you guys to make this into a loop. Right? It's very easy. It's not complicated at all. You guys should be able to figure it out. Make this into a loop so you can constantly add messages, delete messages. Instead of just running and stopping, let's put this all of this into a loop. So I would say start the loop. Probably clear it every time, each iteration of this. I would clear it. If you just deleted, I would say go on top of here because the deletion is an option. So if you choose that, then there will be no fixed log. So then if you try to append to a file that doesn't exist, right, you don't want to get into that scenario. So I would say start the loop on top of this section here. And I'll post the code in the description for you guys. But I would say start message writing loop here. Okay. And then let's see, echo contents, cat fix log, and message writing loop here. So you're going to loop that section from where I said beginning to ending. And that's it. We should probably add an exit, otherwise you'll never be able to get out of this thing. So I would add a let me put a note here. Let's put a note here. So CPU squad homework. CPU squad homework. Okay. If this was Python, I could do a multi-line comment, but it's not Python. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So what we're going to do is loop this script, add exit, loop, exit option to end loop. I think that's good. That is good. That is very good.
Very long and very hard.
It is not very long and it's not very hard. It's actually very short and easy. So Mr. Trump is absolutely wrong.
I love you.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Anyway, so this is our lesson for today. This is a continuation of our Fix Engine project. Now, this is just development, and actually, let me show you the full. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, it's so it's going to give you these options, so we can insert an order. It shows the order that we inserted, and actually, I'm going to create my own little loop right here. So I'll do a while true do. What kind of person watches a live stream and doesn't click on the like button? Somebody with no class at all. All the classy people know how to click on that like button. That's why I don't know what I'm saying right now. Input, output. So it put an order in there. Let's do IX. There's an execution. Actually, where is my execution? What just happened there? Insert execution. There's the execution, but doesn't show up in the log. So we did something wrong. There's something wrong with the code. So let's see what's wrong. What's wrong with the execution? Okay, it says this code is incomplete. So I need to be able to actually insert these messages into the log. I'm only inserting the order. I'm not actually inserting it. So let's paste that in there. And paste this in there. Okay, let's go ahead and run this. IX. Oh, gotta run it again. IX, insert execution, and there's our execution on the last line. Run it again. IX. Run it again. IX. There's our executions, and then I can do a del, and that cleans it up. All right, so it works. So this is a success. Kapla!
It's going to be a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and click on that subscribe button and welcome aboard. Also, click on the bell icon. You have to do this because YouTube is about money. They only promote content that makes them the most money. They don't care about content that's of value to you guys. So because these videos are focused on value and...
All right, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm going to head out. I got to go. I got errands to run, so I got to go. Thank you for joining in. Rosso V. Shout out to Nalraz, Mega Noob, Dry Ice, and John. You guys have been awesome. Those are my top subscribers right now. Hopefully Sam will be joining us. Sam actually is the gentleman, one of my subscribers that bumped into me during the live stream the other day. Really cool guy. He's actually a QA analyst, so hopefully I haven't really, I know he's got a lot of stuff going on. Hopefully he can join us on one of these live streams pretty soon. We're actually talking about also doing meetup events. Obviously that's going to be limited to local people as well, but it is what it is. Thank you for watching. This is Carlisle Speaks Wall Street.